Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem, live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Google MF Michael Fletcher, alongside Michael Bullock and Anthony Florio. Unfortunately, Dee Woodson will not be with us tonight. However, guys, tonight we do indeed will cover AEW and NXT. NXT going down last night. AEW going down live tonight from the Daily's Place in Jacksonville. However, we do start it off with NXT, as this was what they called their Super Tuesday. NXT Super Tuesday. It was headlined by what undoubtedly was the most highly anticipated match in NXT history, the Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match, 60-minute time limit for the NXT World Title. We'll get into that in a little while. However, we did start the night off, or we started the show off, with a 6-man tag team fight, a trio street fight, as it was Isaiah Swerve Scott and the new NXT World Tag Team Champions, Breezango, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze, as they went up against Santos Escobar, Raul Mendoza, and Joaquin Wilde. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 8 minutes and 16 seconds was Breezango and Isaiah Swerve Scott. 3 stars. A great way to start the show. This was an incredible match. I loved the aspect because it went all over the place. They used the weapons. They used a high scaffolding type spot, which was absolutely amazing. So this was without a doubt a great way to start the show. A solid 3-star match. Anthony Florio, come on in as I give a big shout out to my Larry Hertz, who says what's up. So hello, my Larry. Hope you're having a great evening. I hope you're having a great evening. Sorry, Anthony, it's all yours, my friend.
A little tongue tied, are you?
I'm a little excited. Come on.
Yeah, you're getting like I was the other night when I passed over people, but that's all right. Anywho, 3 to 3.5 stars. I mean, second best fight of the night, obviously. It is rare any WWE show starts this hot. Action was front and center. Everyone battled from the opening bell, and the various weapons sold how intense this rivalry has gotten. While it got messy and Imperium's interference was unnecessary, this was an electric opener. Swerve lost a good match against Escobar last week, and it's best for the Cruiserweight division that the rivalry is not over. The two men have more story to tell. Maybe next time they can get a spot on a TakeOver card. That would be nice. So for me, this was a 3 to 3.5 star match. It was definitely the second best fight of the night. I think we all know what number one's going to be. But for right now, great way to start it off. And nothing more to say. Let's give it off to Mr. NXT, Michael Bullock. Great way to start off your special Tuesday night edition.
Yeah, this was definitely a great way to start off the Tuesday night edition of NXT, or as they call it, NXT Super Tuesday. I agree, 3 to 3.5. This was definitely a great way to start it off. I mean, it was hectic. You saw everything being used in the match, and yes, you saw Imperium definitely get involved. I mean, especially after when Breezango took the NXT tag team titles from them. So, yeah, you know after that, the war between Breezango and Imperium is far from over. So, and as far as Isaiah Swerve Scott, maybe a future NXT Cruiserweight Championship opportunity for him. So, we'll have to wait and see on both of those ends. But for right now, 3 to 3.5, a great way to start it off. So, Fletch, let's move on.
Then the next match we had was Candice LeRae one-on-one with Casey Catanzaro. Candice LeRae wins the match in 3 minutes. This was a pretty simple match, Anthony. Candice LeRae, easy victory, but it does set up something with her and Tegan Knox because it was a backstage moment with Tegan and her, and oh boy.
Oh boy is right. Now, this was not paced well for a squash, but this is fairly typical for the unnecessary one-sided contests that cheating heels often have. LeRae was not meant to be dominant. She was only meant to win quickly. It makes her look less threatening than she should be. What worked really well in this segment was Tegan Knox's comments and their supposed effect on the Poison Pixie. This story has only begun to develop, and adding in the potential for a reconciliation should only heighten what a terrible person LeRae has become. So, not really much to say about the match there. I could probably give it 1 to 1.5 for the effort. So, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, Candice LeRae saying, "Hey, Tegan Knox, if you want to meet, let's have dinner sometime. Let's try to, let's sit down and let's maybe hatch things out here."
I don't know, you guys. I smell a rat with this. What says you guys about that?
I don't know if it's a rat or if it's just the fact that Candice LeRae just cannot be trusted right now.
I think she can't be trusted right now. I mean, I understand what Tegan Knox is trying to do. She wants to reconcile things with Candice LeRae, but Tegan, I hate to say this to you, but you can't trust her because remember who she's married to, Johnny Gargano, and we've seen that she's taken the same attitude that Johnny Gargano has. So I don't know. Like I said, I smell something here, and it doesn't really sound right. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. But I just got a bad feeling that Tegan Knox could be walking into a trap. We'll wait and see. Well, 1 star for the match. That's all. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give it 1 star. I mean, it could have been a lot more better than what it was, and yeah, it was a tough situation. So, no doubt about it. I think it could have been a lot more better than what it was. But at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it was fine for what it was worth. It served its purpose, which is probably the best way to say it, because of the fact that Candice LeRae, you could tell she was kind of conflicted here because of the fact that what Tegan said, and on top of that, looking at how close the friendship is with Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro, um, maybe in one way you're thinking, is she trying to be a sympathetic figure, or is it something more diabolical down the line? Because Tegan Knox has relied on 2 women so far. One that was Candice LeRae, the other was Dakota Kai, and we all remember what Dakota did to Tegan Knox at War Games, where she literally bashed her leg with that door repeatedly in that War Games match. So we already knew how that played out. So nothing more to add. Next up, we had Michael Bullock. You're gonna lead off on this one. It was the colossal Bronson Reed going one-on-one with Timothy Thatcher, and Timothy Thatcher walks away with a huge victory over Bronson Reed with the Fujiwara armbar. Wins it at 4 minutes and 47 seconds via submission. Bullock, it's yours, my friend.
Um, this was definitely too short. 1.5 for me, but obviously, Timothy Thatcher did get a little assist from Austin Theory where he jumped Bronson Reed from the outside. So there's something gonna happen with those two somewhere down the line. So, but 1.5 stars for me. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, this was incredible. This was a 1.5 to 2 solid match, good battle. I got nothing more to add. So, Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Anthony?
I don't know if he's kind of busy. He's probably busy at the moment. All right, so either that or he's having technical issues. So what we'll do is we'll give Anthony some time. Hopefully he'll come back momentarily. But we do got the main event, which is the big one. The 1 hour Iron Man match for the NXT title. It was Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, and Johnny Gargano. When it was all said and done, when the time limit expired, we had Adam Cole with 2 pins or with 2 victories. We had Finn Balor with 2 victories. We had Johnny Gargano with 1, and Tommaso Ciampa had 1 victory in the match. Because of the fact that Adam Cole and
I'm ready. I'm ready.
all right,
I'm ready.
okay.
I do apologize.
That's okay. Bronson Reed versus Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher wins by submission, 447.
This could have been a fun match, but it was over far too quickly. Thatcher never really got to get going, and his submission focus was limited to the finish. It was not a great showcase of either man, despite the talent in the ring. Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed is a direction for both younger stars to develop, but it is odd that the Colossal has been so quickly sidelined from title contention. He has a pinfall victory over North American champion Damian Priest that could be explored. Instead, the idea is to go with Thatcher versus Priest, which should be an odd heel versus heel dynamic. So, really nothing more to say. That's probably about a 1.5 to 2. Now let's get to the main event. Okay, MF, we can get to the main event now.
All right, so let me just reset so that everybody can understand what happened. So, at the end of the 1 hour time limit, it ended up. So, at the end of the 1 hour time limit, it was determined that we had Finn Balor with two decisions. We had Adam Cole with 2 decisions. We had Johnny Gargano with 1 decision. And we also had Tommaso Ciampa with 1 decision. Because of the fact that Cole and Balor tied with the 2 at the end of the 1 hour time limit, it was determined by Mr. William Regal that next week on NXT Super Tuesday Part 2, we will have a one-on-one match. Balor versus Cole. No time limit. 1 fall to a finish. Sudden death. Whoever gets a pin or a submission will become NXT champion next week. Alright. Regardless of the outcome, regardless of what has happened, this, my friends, was a 5-star classic. This was an amazing match. This told a great story. It had so much excitement, especially the last minute of that match was so intense that it gave it the 5-star rating. You had the most Shakespearean drama filled in the last 30 seconds, where it looked like Balor was on his way to winning the title, and then out of nowhere, Adam Cole gets the final pin with less than a second left. before the buzzer, before the bell rang for the end. It was absolutely incredible how they played this. This was a great way to continue the story. I know a lot of people were upset because a lot of people felt like we should have had a decision at that moment. But I'm cool with it just being a straight one-on-one between Balor versus Cole. But something tells me that we're not going to get a clean finish in next week's title fight. The reason why I say that is because, one, you can probably say Undisputed Era. I think Undisputed Era could definitely get involved. But there is somebody else in the back of my mind that hasn't let go of a loss that went down at TakeOver 30. And I think you guys know who I'm talking about now. Now, I don't think he'll get involved because I don't think it would be his place to get involved. However, I would not be stunned if said name shows up. If he does, Balor's walking away with the belt. That's my prediction. I got Finn Balor becoming the NXT champion next week. Anthony, it's yours.
Very bold statement there, MF, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, and yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. And maybe he gets involved, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, this was indeed a 5-star classic. I mean, the Shakespearean drama off the charts. I mean, that closing stretch, amazing. Now, in my daily browsing yesterday, I came across a headline that said huge spoiler for tonight's NXT main event. I didn't go into it until after the match. I mean, I didn't want to know what it was. But when I saw that headline, I said to myself, we're getting some sort of a clunky finish here. And sure enough, we did. And, you know, it's a damn shame it had to end that way. But, you know, normally in situations like this, we would usually frown upon that. But the action was just so damn good, so incredible for that hour. I mean, can we make an argument? Can we make an argument that this was the greatest match in NXT history? Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. But man, I mean, it had the potential to be, but I don't think it was. But at the same time, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, all four delivered like we knew they would. And, you know, to get a match of this caliber on free television and not a takeover. I mean, this is a takeover quality match. And we ended up getting it on free TV.
And on top of that, you also got to give credit where credit's due to NXT because they only had one legit commercial break and the rest of it was all side by sides. Yes. That's actually a major props to NXT as well.
Yes, one. Yeah, you nailed it, MF. There were 5 commercial breaks in total in this match, 5, and 4 of them were split screen. The first one, the very first commercial break, was the only one that took us away from any bit of action. But other than that, that's the only bit of action we missed. Just that handful of minutes, which is not bad at all. They obviously adhered to my request. They must have watched the show last week when I said limit the commercials, do split screen, do whatever you have to do. And they listened. So well done, guys. Well done. So everybody was great, but the stars of the match clearly were Finn Balor and Adam Cole. I mean, those two tore it up, and I can't wait to see those two battle it out again next week for the NXT Championship. I pray to God that MF's theory is wrong, because I do not want to see another clunky damn finish, and then this thing keeps it in limbo. Next week, I don't care who it is. Whether it's Adam Cole again or Finn Balor again, I don't care. I just want a clean, decisive winner. No BS, no Mookie stinks, no monkey shines, none of that stuff. I want a winner. Period. And a statement and a quotation. 5-star classic, absolutely. Stole the damn show. And Michael Bullock, Mr. NXT, you of all people should definitely be, should agree with my sentiment. I want a winner, and I'm sure you do as well next week.
And you know what? Well, first off, I'm going to say I agree with everybody. This was a 5-star classic. I mean, all 4 performers were excellent. I mean, this was one that could have gone either way, but the last minute of that Iron Man match was what made this a 5-star classic. I mean, the excitement built when Balor got the pinfall. Everybody was thinking Balor was going to walk away the NXT champion, but Adam Cole snuck in, hit his finisher, gets the pinfall right before the time expired, and just like that, we had a tie. And then that's when William Regal came in and said, next week it's going to be Finn Balor, Adam Cole, one fall to a finish to become the NXT champion. And I'm with Florio on this one. I hope Fletcher's theory is 100%. No. Not 100%. 1,000,000% wrong. This is such a big match to determine the NXT champion. I don't want to see any clunky finishes, no BS, no nonsense, no interferences. I want a winner, a clean winner. If you want to make this matchup next week as big as it is, let the 2 of them go at it. Don't let it. So my message to NXT, and I'm the NXT guy, do not, and I repeat, do not screw this up. Don't give me any BS finishes. Don't give me any clunkiness. Give me a clean cut winner. Because I swear, if I see any of that, I'm going to go on a major phenom rant. So, period. End of quotation. End of statement.
End of everything.
I'm done. I'm finished. Nothing more to say. Fletch, I just hope you're wrong.
Yeah, I'll honestly say I hope I am wrong too. I hope we do get a great match. I hope we do get a great championship matchup. I hope we do get an actual legitimate outcome and that we can get a true champion here. I don't want. This is one of those rare times where I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that we don't get interference. I hope it's not a clunky finish. I hope that whoever wins the title wins it with honor, with dignity, with whatever you want to say. That is exactly, that's the point. Like, I don't want, even though I made this prediction or I made this assumption or whatnot, I don't want to be right. I don't want that to happen. With so much riding on the line, with so much, what this match means, I would be absolutely horrid. I would feel like crap if a decision like that goes down. I would absolutely feel like crap if that's how the match ends. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, final thoughts on NXT while I get myself ready for AEW.
Yeah, great show here. Of course, the main event obviously was the big one there. I mean, that was the show stealer. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. And then you couple that with that incredible 6-man street fight. I mean, that was really well done too. The only downside were those two short matches, but other than that, I would have to give this. If I had to put a rating on this, I would have to give this a solid 8. Um, and that's mainly because of those two meh fights. But obviously they needed the filler, obviously. But anyways, all in all, it was a very good week of television. You had a strong opener, some angle advancement, a very good main event. The ending will leave a sour taste in people's mouths. I understand that, and a little bit for me for the most part. But nonetheless, they obviously want to take advantage of that, of having the Tuesday time slot for the second straight week coming up, and there are rumors going around that NXT is considering switching nights. I'm sure you guys saw the dirt sheet I sent in our Wrestling Forum Messenger chat earlier today. So that's definitely some food for thought. Who knows? This Wednesday night war could end up being over before we know it. So we'll have to wait and see.
All right. I probably not what Anthony wanted it to do, but Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you. So it's yours. It's your call.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was an 8 out of 10. If I had to give it a rating, this was a very good edition of NXT last night. What made it the 8 out of 10 were the 6-man tag team street fight, and obviously the main event. I mean, I know people are poo-pooing all over the ending. They didn't want it to be a tie, but obviously they want to take advantage of next week being Super Tuesday Part 2. So, yeah, so let's wait and see what happens. So, there's really nothing more to say, Fletch. I give it to you.
All right. And with that said, it's time for us to move on right along, and it's time for us to get into tonight's AEW. And we did start it off, well, let's just say we started AEW off with chaos all over the place. It was the tag team match. The Best Friends versus Santana and Ortiz. Santana and Ortiz wins the match in 7 minutes and 13 seconds. I mean, it was good. It was a solid jump off to the show. It was all right. Pretty violent. I mean, there was one spot where Chuck Taylor, oh my God! I mean, he literally took one. Did like a stack of chairs and then got tossed off the stage right through those stack of chairs. That basically put him out of the match. Wholeheartedly left Trent in a very vulnerable position, and Santana and Ortiz gets the job done. So I give this about 2.5 stars. Nothing more to add. Anthony, it's all yours.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. This was It was a fun way to start the show, but after a couple minutes, it began to feel like they were moving from planned spot to planned spot without taking the time to make what happened in between those moments matter. The problem with working a fast-paced style like this is it often feels like big impacts aren't sold properly. Taylor recovered from crashing into a pile of chairs far too quickly. The action was good, but there was no story. Nobody had control for long enough to slow things down and make something matter. These are 4 good wrestlers who need to take their time during their next encounter. 2.5 stars. I agree with MF's rating. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it 2.5 stars as well. I mean, it was a fine match for what it was. But yeah, I mean, that fall on those stack of chairs, oof, that was that was brutal. Shall we say, guys, that was not PG.
Oh no, definitely not PG. No way.
Yeah, you fall on a stack of chairs like that, that's gonna leave you hurting for days, maybe even weeks, heck, maybe even months, depending on how the fall is. But Man, I'm glad it's them and definitely not me. Woof, because that had to hurt like hell. So there's really nothing more to add to it. 2.5 stars. Fletch, it's yours.
Alright, next up on the fight card, we had. Just a second. I believe this was a one on one. Oh, come on. I apologize. Florio knows about the slow computer. Florio knows about the slow computer. I think we can all
Welcome to
agree.
my world.
Yeah, I was about to say. Alright, so with that said, we had. That was that. Next up, 8-man tag team match, the Private Party and SCU versus Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks. Winners of the bout in 14 minutes and 15 seconds was the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
I think we can make an argument this was the fight of the night right here. 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. I do have a little bit of some nitpicks here. I mean, this match had the same quick pace as the previous bout, but the difference is people don't expect an 8-man contest to tell a story the same way as a regular tag match. When this many moving parts are involved, it's more important for everyone to have some time in the spotlight than it is for one team to dominate the action. Luchasaurus, Isaiah Cassidy, and Jungle Boy stood out the most for their performances, but we can't overlook Christopher Daniels, the wily veteran, doing moonsaults left and right like he was half his age. This was a good match with the right finish. It appears as if the Bucks were teasing a possible heel turn, which might be just what they need right now, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. And on Saturday night, you remember there was the stipulation that the two teams who won this match will face each other Saturday night at All Out. So that means we're going to see the Young Bucks against the Jurassic Express. And let me tell you, folks, we got to show Steeler potential right here. So that's all there is to say on this. 3.5, 3.75 of a star. One of the fights of the night, if not the fight of the night. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, you saw the Young Bucks. They took a walk after that. After the match was over, they just took their ball and left. Could it be a possible heel turn? I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. But some people would say because of their popularity, maybe it would be the wrong thing to do. But you know what? If the heel turn does happen, I'd be up for it. Now, whether it works out or not, that remains to be seen. But anywho, I agree. This was the fight of the night. 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. I mean, all these teams I thought did really well here, and yeah, because of that victory, now the two of them are going to be facing each other. The two winning teams are going to be facing off at All Out Saturday night. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
The Young Bucks have been notorious to be heels, so it would be nothing new if they actually do it. And besides, Jurassic Express is one of the most over teams right now in AEW. Especially with, Luchasaurus, with Jungle Boy, and with Marco Stunt. I mean, they are without a doubt one of the more exciting trio that we've had in AEW. So no, I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. It would be nothing new if they actually did indeed turn heel. Which I mean, and I mean as it relates to the Young Bucks. So no, I mean, if they decide to pull the trigger and go down that route, then by all means. I mean, it wouldn't be any surprise. I think they've been notorious for being heels, so it wouldn't be a shock to me. It wouldn't be a shock to the fans if they actually did turn to the heel side. So no, I mean, it would be pretty much as expected, I would say. So no, nothing more to add there. Next up on this AEW Dynamite show, we did have a match as it was Chris Jericho versus Joey Janela. Jericho wins the match in 251. You don't have to talk about that, Michael Bullock. We'll just move right on along. Then we had a whole bunch of segments. A brawl broke out. Then we had Sandra Deeb going one on one with the NWA Women's Champion of the World, Thunder Rosa. And Thunder Rosa does indeed win the match in 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Michael Bullock, this is definitely yours. Great momentum for Thunder Rosa as she has a date with Destiny on Saturday as she gets a shot at the AEW Women's World Title. Big win for her to propel herself.
Yeah, this was definitely a big win for her, and hopefully Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's World Champion, was watching, because she could be in for a fight against Thunder Rosa after what she did tonight. So, 2.5 to 3 is my rating on it. I mean, a nice win for Thunder Rosa. Definitely gives her some momentum going into this world title match against Hikaru Shida. So, yeah, I mean, I think this could be a good match. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, all I can say is the AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida has her hands full Saturday night, because Thunder Rosa could give her some problems.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Thunder Rosa should not be taken lightly at all. She is a great superstar. I've seen her work not just in just in NWA, but there was also some other stuff along the way as well. So no, she's definitely a major player. She definitely will be she's a big name, and for Sheeta, this could define her, because if she beats Thunder Rosa on Saturday, that would probably be a feather in the cap. It would probably be even bigger than when she knocked off Nyla Rose to become the AEW Women's World Champion. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. This is going to be one hell of a match. This is about 3 stars. I mean, it's good. It was fine for what it was worth, and it actually does help because, like I said, Thunder Rosa. This was really her first time listening to all the fans from around the world, and for what she did, well done. You definitely passed the litmus test. Now you got a big fight on Saturday. Can you deliver in the clutch? I think that's going to be the key word. We'll wait and see. Anthony, it's yours.
This was the other match I was thinking about for Fight of the Night honors. Um, I'm gonna make a quick indemnity to the that 8-man tag. I'm gonna give that between 3.25, 3.5. This is the one that I'm leaning for 3.5 to 3.75 here. This to me was the fight of the night. I mean, Serena Deeb, a veteran and former trainer at the WWE Performance Center. It was nice to see her treated as a serious competitor and not a small obstacle for Rosa to overcome. This was the best match of the night and a great showcase of 2 women most of the AEW audience may not know much about. Deeb's time in WWE was short, and Rosa has mostly competed on the indies. Seeing them perform at such a high level gives hope that Thunder Rosa versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's title Saturday night will be just as good. So, and I know we have made, we've done a lot of poo-pooing all over women's matches in AEW. A lot of them we've called duds and, given low ratings to, but it is not often that a women's match ended up stealing the show on a Dynamite. So well done, ladies. Well done. And I'll be honest with you. I've always liked Serena Deeb. I've always loved her work. And, most of us best know her from when she was in CM Punk's Straight Edge Society when she had the bald head. I mean, I thought she looked good with that buzz bald head, but but she looks even better with hair. That's all I can say. I love her. So great to see her. That was a nice treat for me because I've always had a lot of love and respect for Serena Deeb, and she looked great. And this is and the one thing that I have been wanting to see for a while is Thunder Rosa work, and I finally got to see Thunder Rosa work, and MF, I get it now. I finally get it. I get why you're so high on Thunder Rosa. I get it now. She's incredible. And she brings that effort with Sheeta. This could be the women's match of the year if all goes well. So based on those two bodies of work, we got a potential here. So I can't wait for that match on Saturday night. That's got show stealer potential as well. So can't wait. So and I didn't even know Thunder Rosa was Cobra Moon in Lucha Underground. I mean,
yes, she was.
Wow. I'm like, and you remember how much I was digging that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, now I've been wanting to see her behind the mask, and wow, she's a stunner, let me tell you. So, alrighty, nothing more to say. Fight of the night for me, 3.5 to 3 3/4. And like I said, MF, I get it now. I finally understand why you've been so damn high on this girl for so many years.
All right, and with that said, we do go to the main event of the evening, which was Jon Moxley versus Mark Sterling. Mark Sterling, oh, by the way, folks, is the attorney for Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Moxley wins the match in 5 minutes and 1 second with the paradigm shift. Once the match was over, though, Mox got jumped bad by Wardlow and by MJF. Basically, they absolutely destroyed Moxley, left him a bloody mess. It's what you expected. It's what you expected in the match after Moxley won it. Once Moxley won the match, you knew it was gonna go bad, and sure enough, it went bad. It's a big beat down. It was an embarrassing beat down. I gotta say it right now, because of that, I think Moxley's walking out with the belt now. I honestly believe now, because he got the beat down, because he did what he did at the end, I think Moxley will overcome, and I think MJF will fall on Saturday night at All Out. Going into it, I had Moxley losing the title. Now, after what I saw tonight, I'm actually reversing course for the first time, and I'm going to be very open. I think Jon Moxley will beat MJF on Saturday. Leading into this, the whole way through and whatnot, I had MJF winning the title. And I did. Anthony knows it. Michael Bullock knows it. But after what I just saw here tonight, I'm going with Moxley now. Jon Moxley, still the AEW World Champion on Saturday. Anthony, it's yours.
And I'm sure MF will feel the same way about that when we get to Friday night, when we do our all-out preview on Cerebral Smack Talk. But for right now, this segment was designed solely for the purpose of making Moxley look good. But when the champion is facing a rookie, it can't possibly benefit the veteran performer. A live crowd might have thought this was funny, and that enthusiasm could have made this more entertaining. But this fell flat the way it was presented. The attack from Wardlow did more to push the upcoming match between MJF and Mox more than anything else. Ending with MJF holding up the title over a bloody Moxley was the best part of all of this. So, nothing really more to say on this. This to me was the worst fight of the night. This was an absolute dud. Not even going to dignify any more of it. So, really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, dud match, but the post-match far better.
Yeah, the match was a dud, but the beatdown was definitely way better. And yeah, as soon as I saw that happen, Well, I was like smiling because I was like, yeah, the booking 101. I knew that John Moxley was going to walk out the AEW World Champion come Saturday night, and MJF, you little goof, you you piece of you know what. Do you know what happens after you? I mean, when you beat down someone like John Moxley, you know John Moxley's going to be incensed, and come Saturday, I hope that John Moxley beats the you know what out of you because you rightfully deserve it after what you did to him. So Moxley wins. Nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move on.
All right, Anthony Florio, why don't you lead on off, my friend? Final thoughts on AEW here tonight.
Yeah, not really the best go home show, but not exactly the worst. I mean, we did get some good out of it, but there was also some meh as well. But I would probably give this a solid 7 out of 10 for this. As I look into this, tonight was more of a mixed bag than usual, with a nice little balance of ridiculousness. Typically, the needle moves more towards awesome than not, but a few missteps tonight kind of irked me. Nothing on the levels of the WWE, but I digress. The entire segment regarding the Battle Royal seemed incredibly off, save for the promos. I see no reason why anyone would enter a brawl that had no sign of a result just a few days away from a brawl that would garner a prize. I can't see any smart heel that would willingly enter themselves into this ruckus for no reason. Could be why Sean Spears stood by and watched, but. And then with the way it ended, I mean, another thing that bothered me was Joey Janela's blade job for Jericho. While a blood-smeared white tee is a great visual, it looked to me that it was done for a 2-second spot. The only good that could come of this is that Joey and Sonny seek revenge, and this is the catalyst, but the job seemed rough. But, all right, so, but I loved everything else. Serena Deeb and Rosa put on a clinic. The best friends loss was a product of their own design. Adam Hangman Page continues to lose sleep and be at odds with his partner. And FTR, for as sloppy as their promo work had been, showed promise here in one segment that they ever did in WWE. And also interested to see the Bucks turn. Solid go home, but not a blowaway. So solid 7 out of 10 for me. And that women's match, sleeper fight of the night, stole the show for me. The 8-man tag was solid as well. The opener was fine. Couple of things I could have done without, especially that the Moxley and that idiot there. So it's a 7 for me. And I would have to say NXT was the better show, and it was mainly because of that main event, that 5-star 4-way. So nothing more to say. 7 for me. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 6.5 to 7 for me. There was some good out of it, but there was also some meh when it comes to this. So it was, let's just say, it was solid, but unspectacular when it comes to this go home edition of Dynamite before All Out. So nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, solid, nothing too amazing. But you guys pretty much touched on everything, so we'll just call this for the night. So yeah, we're done, and what we're gonna do is coming up in, yeah, actually tomorrow we got ourselves a special edition of Strictly Sports, as we will be covering the NBA. It looks like the second round will be set because we'll have all of the matchups should be complete because we do got a game 7 going on at this hour.
Yeah, we're all set. We'll be all set.
We'll be all set, and Well, believe it or not, I was hoping to get a preview for the Eastern Conference for the conference finals in hockey, but unfortunately, if you're a Dallas Star or Colorado Avalanche, let's just say this: the two greatest words in sports, Game 7. Friday night. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to put that on the back burner. So, hockey is on the back burner for another week. So, we'll see what happens then. And we'll do that at 10 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Anthony will host it. Friday night is ridiculous. It's going to be Cerebral Smack Talk. We're talking SmackDown, AEW, All Out preview. So, we're going to be pretty busy. So, we got nothing more to add. So, thank you so much as always. Like the video. Leave a comment at the bottom. Share with all your friends on all the social media. Have a good night. So long for now. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.